All righty. What's going on there, Jim? How are you
Well,
feeling today?
I'm all right. It's an okay Sunday morning.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is good. So by the way, not this week. It's not going to be until the end of the month. I'm going to tell you when we won't have a show will be the 23rd because we're going to be gone for like 8 days. We're going to take a road trip. We're going hurt me and the missus. We're gonna be in New England for like a week,
For
kind of get
Thanksgiving.
away. Yeah,
That
the week of
yeah,
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, that makes sense.
S-
I'd be surprised if we were doing a show that day. I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Now, honestly, we could do a show the night of Thanksgiving. We could get on here and we could dress up like pilgrims and and do a Thanksgiving show. I
You
was
know,
thinking of what?
at this point, I just do it because we're according to certain people, we're white supremacists anyway. Might as well go all.
Oh, well, that's why I said to you, by the way, that when you sent me that Halloween photo, I made that name mashup. I thought that was the best fitting for that woman.
Yeah, that's what we literally call the monster mash.
Instead of Mary Tyler Moore, it's Mary something else. Any anyway, yeah, oh yeah, the Monster Mash. Yeah, those three. But anywho, someone who looks like they're in a Halloween costume every fucking day, our boy Stuttering John Melendez.
Of course.
He put up a full episode. Usually he swats these boys right down. But it's here in the full glory. An entire episode of his show. And of course, in typical John fashion, he's already drunk. So I guess he's not at his mom's. He must be home now in Cape Coral because he's rather plastered. But he reminds us all, by the way, that um, his drinking can't be too bad because it's 7:35 in the evening, and this is his first beer.
That's such bullshit. Maybe it's the first beer of that hour.
Well, let's get on into our buddy John here and see what he's up to. Immediately, this is how the episode starts. Watch this.
That's the Duke. I know the sound of his engines. Don't cross the Duke. Everybody knows that.
Yep,
Yup.
you would think so. You would think they would all know that, but they don't.
Okay,
Now I
hold
got
on.
the
Hold on.
times.
We got to pause this for a second. So the first 10 seconds of your show, you had this long intro, and you wait until the end of it to clean your teeth and open up your next can and swallow your fucking food. Like what is happening here, John?
He is the Duke of something. He is the Duke of safety hazards.
Dude, for some reason, anywhere that John is broadcasting, it always looks highly flammable.
I mean, with the amount of drinking he does, he's highly flammable himself.
I mean, look at that. Do you know any healthy person who has that skin color?
No. Most people I know that have that skin, like most people I know don't have ghoulish skin colors. That's not
Now,
the beacon of
now,
glowing.
Jimmy, full disclosure, it is 8:09 in good old Chatty. So I hope that was a can of brisk tea or something there.
That I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually 10:10 where I am, and it's a Mountain Dew.
There you go. Okay, there you go. There you go. Good. All
Yeah.
right, Mountain Dew. And also, it is 12:10 because apparently John gives a fuck about what time it is when someone's drinking something. So it's 12:10, and this is a rock star.
Well, most alcoholics wouldn't, most people that drink wouldn't be concerned what time you start drinking. If you have to like preload what time you're drinking at, you clearly have a problem.
Well, you know what, dude? Full disclosure, I work 11-hour days, so there are times where 8 a.m. A beer is opened up and no shame is felt.
Yeah, but you don't.
I'm not gonna
you
lie
don't
to
look
you.
like- yeah, but you don't look like a ghoul. Is my thing. Like,
And it's rare, by the
yeah,
way.
it's not like you wake up every morning and you're just like, all right, guys, time to do the good old Menendez and have me a beer and tell everyone I'm the Duke.
Well, oh yeah, have my 36th beer.
Stand for OJ. Let's go.
But like, I love how he's never figured out his green screen. So like, the silhouette of him is green, and his skin is getting gray. So he just looks like a big goblin all the time.
Oh yeah.
By the way, is this the face of someone? This man right here, okay? He claims to be slaying the poon. He claims to be out in Cape Coral getting women of all ethnicities, and he talks about his Norwegian girlfriend and his Jamaican girlfriend and his Haitian girlfriend. Where are these women?
Since he wants to play this game with other people, they're generally on a playground, I'm sorry, like that. The look that this is the type of guy you would see on How to Catch a Predator.
If John walked into the fave, is he getting laid?
No. Well, you know what? I take that back. He might get laid out. Probably the closest. It's probably the closest to physical touch he would get in a while.
Well, let's listen to what the Duke has to say, shall we?
Yeah.
I'm stand for OJ. Let's go. It is game 7. Who do we think? God, I hope the Blue Jays
even
win.
more.
Damn it. Check. I can't stand the fucking Dodgers. I'm so sick of the Dodgers.
Do you notice that
They get the first
and tits move every time he speaks?
Not just his tits, his whole fucking like face, fucking like it's like doing its own dance number. Like
his entire upper torso was dependent upon his.
You got to make
It's a very strange thing going on here.
You got to find a way to make a screen cap out of this facial expression. That says so much. When someone tells you that they're the Duke, that's the face you give them.
Oh yeah, when he's on stage, this is the guy, by the way, that's looking down at you when he asks you how long you've been with your girlfriend or your wife, and you say 10 years, and he goes, "Oh, you fucking." That's the face that is looking down at you from that stage.
Yeah, like
No wonder nobody's laughing.
Or if they do laugh, they're laughing at him and not with him.
No, or anyone who actually like loves their wife, and or maybe is a woman themselves in the audience. They're hearing these stories about how John treated Susanna, and it's not relatable. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's uncomfortable. It's disgraceful. There's nothing entertaining or charming about this guy, but he carries on like he's this fucking like comedy legend. It's insane.
Yeah, and I also want people to understand that this guy, like when he was famous on Howard Stern, didn't even write his own material. The jokes that were done for the interviews were written for him. So this guy is like acting like he was the craftsman of all that, and he was like the supreme like talent, but he really wasn't.
And he says, well, and here's the thing. Okay. He says he's this writer. Well, you have a show. You can do anything you want on the show. I haven't told Jimmy this yet. But I was gonna plan a Jimmy themed birthday for the stream here. At some point in December, a whole Jimmy themed stream. But I haven't figured out what I was gonna do yet. I was actually thinking about hanging like party favors, but there's gonna be different pictures of your face behind me and shit. I don't know if I'll actually be able to do that or not. I think it'd be hilarious. But the point is that at least I want to see John do anything. Like if he would just make these faces on purpose, if that was his thing, maybe that would be funny. But even then, remember when he tried to lean into it and like he wore his shirt inside out,
Yeah.
and that wasn't funny either.
Well, that's the thing. It's like him and Opie have this thing in common to where they can't let themselves be the joke. They have to just and by the time they figure out that they should be the joke, it's a little too late.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
and
mean?
Ron the Waiter's my new favorite, by the way.
Oh, I've been keeping up with that shit. But no, this guy like goes on stage and it's like, look, you could go up on stage and tell jokes about your wife, but you got to be funny about it.
Your ex-wife of 20 years ago?
You get what I mean. Going up there and
But the stories he's telling, he's talking about Susanna being 9 months pregnant and doing the dishes at a party.
yeah, I
I mean,
remember that.
it's the most unflattering shit. Nobody is laughing along with that. That's crazy. No wonder your kids don't fucking talk to you.
Yeah, like no,
Oh.
that was my point. Just going that's like me going up on stage and I was just like, yeah, and then I fisted her and the monkey. Like that's like that's probably not going to go over super well with the crowd. But this is the guy, this is the man, and I've said this before, and Artie Lang has said this before. If this guy didn't have a stutter, he would be either sweeping up hair in his parents' salon or pumping gas somewhere in Massapequa.
Well, he already should be because what he's doing here is no good. Wait, let's get back here and let's listen to what old John has to say to us.
Of course.
For payments, fuck off. Oh, so mammy, send you the link. Why the fuck would I send you the link? You're a pig. Strike, huh? I don't think so.
This guy has
Holy
no idea what
shit! This guy sucks, man.
he has no idea what's happening in his chat whatsoever.
Yeah, I could tell from Strike. I don't think so.
They're talking about Ash. Okay, so you know all about Whitney Cummings' sister Ashley,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're talking about the fact that this asshole struck her channel and he denies doing it.
Oh, of course.
And we all know that he struck Ashley's channel.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that this guy will go behind people's backs. He'll do shit, and then he'll just pretend as if that he has no idea what anybody's ever talking about.
Like, and the other thing is, I don't know how you could deny doing that when you're the guy who threatens lawsuits. Every few weeks, I hear a new lawsuit or two that this man's rolling out. So, yeah, I'm not like it's not it's not out of the realm of possibility to say you're probably striking people's channels too. And you know that you can't strike the big boys, so you go for the channels you know that you can successfully strike.
Oh, of course, and that was the thing also. He tries to be this big liberal, and those YouTubers don't want to talk to him either, by the way. Those people don't. Hassan doesn't want to talk to him. Hassan does not want to talk to him.
Well,
Nick Rekieta does not want to talk to him.
Okay, I can understand Nick Rekieta not wanting to because he's starting to do good again, and I'm happy for that. He's bounced back. Hassan doesn't need that right now. Hassan right now has got enough going on with the shocking of his dog and still dealing with the backlash from his feud with Ethan Klein. For as much as I hate Hassan Piker,
that was during that. So John was trying to butter up to him like a year and a half ago because he tried going on H3H3. Ethan had no interest in stuttering John at all.
Of course.
So then John went on and he started talking shit about Ethan's wife. He said his wife was ugly and all this other stuff, in John fashion. And then he tried to tweet all of the high-level political YouTubers, and none of them cared about his existence whatsoever.
You know how bad that is, that when the most clout-driven, sleazy YouTubers even look at this guy and say, no, fuck you. It is insane that I would side with Hassan Piker on anything, but fuck him, fuck this guy, you know?
Oh yeah, by the way, what I want to see,
Yes.
I would like to see someone. I don't think that Keemstar has ever spoken about anything with Stuttering John at all. I don't think those. I think he would eat this shit up.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know how much longer Lol Cow Live has to go. That's a different episode, but to really go through that in short, that show is pretty much on its last limbs because you have to manufacture drama to keep it alive. You do fake firings every week to suspend and fulfill drama. He
Well, it's like,
fired Wing,
yeah.
he fired Wings of Redemption after the whole shit with his wife just to invite him back on. Like, no, for as much as I hate John, going on Lol Cow Live wouldn't work.
No, because John's also not smart. He's not going to
Oh,
understand.
yeah, and neither is most of the people on Lol Cow Live, and that's the beauty behind it. You got a bunch of idiots running the whole thing, but it's just
Yeah.
and the other thing is, I already have to deal with Boogie farming a sympathy card and talk about how he was once a
Oh,
big.
could you imagine John and Boogie trying to out victim each other?
Yeah, I would, and
Yeah, I know. This is the thing. So what happens is, I know you guys don't care about baseball. I don't give a shit. But
He's clearing his.
Blue Jays
fucking
have a man on first
game.
and second. So the ball's hit and into the gap. Both players
back
would
on
have
your
scored and tied the game. What happens? The ball goes underneath that fucking stupid cushion, and then they don't let him score. So now it's second and third. But by the way, like, why didn't Toronto fucking their own stadium fucked them? So like,
He can't even talk about baseball in an interesting way.
no,
All this guy does is sit around all day and watch the Yankees and the Mets and etc. And he can't even articulate that in a way that is interesting.
no, he can't do anything interesting except let people write offensive questions and offensive jokes for him to tell. That's when he's at his absolute strongest. Is when people do the legwork and they just rely on his stutter to get him through it.
Well, Johnny's show goes along for a while, and he's starts getting into the meat and potatoes of things.
hold on.
Oh,
Look at this shit where I have an emotional breakdown arguing with Vegas Beer Cells Jerry today on X. I know I was doing this today, but I mean, look at this. Look at him coping with the fact that he's buddies with anti-Semites. It's fucking amazing. I know I'm going to have a strike.
Co-partner there was now a guilt.
We already played that.
So this is the part of the show where John, because he has nothing to actually talk about, he just goes through Reddit and he wants to doom scroll. And okay, you know what? I don't want to take too much time on this.
No, and you know what? I'll say this. I wanted to do this as a segment on the show to where maybe one episode every month or two, we would just pick out some "Am I the Asshole" stories from Reddit and read through those. I don't think there's anything wrong with reading stories off of Reddit, but yet again, it's John. He finds a way to make it uninteresting
because his whole show is Reddit. So more or less what he does is that he comes on and then he begins to hypothesize about how just pick a name is now suddenly against him. He can't take any accountability for the texts that he sends people, for the fact that he called Ashley Cummings 30 times in one night. In one night, he called Ashley 30 times. So he can't take ownership of that. He can't take ownership of the fact that he bothered Caleb, what's his face? I can't think of his name now, but Caleb from Are You Hungry?
Oh,
he bothered him of 1,000 tweets and DMs and whatever, to the point where he want nothing to do with him either. This is what he does to people. He gets online with these creators, and especially if you are not like, a big cheese, especially like if we were to tweet John, we were to say, hey, 0.0 people listen to our show, but we love you. And we would say you are our favorite part of Stern, and you were our favorite part of this and that. And we thought that, when you were on WCW that one time, John, you were so funny. If we did that, we would then be his pals. We would then be on the Stuttering John show. We would be on the Stuttering John show in 2 seconds if we were just suddenly pro John. If we loved John, he would have no way of finding my Facebook page. He would have no way of knowing that we goofed on him. He wouldn't know how to do any of that.
No, that'd be too difficult for us.
So all we would have to do is say, you know what, we have had a conversion. We have came to the altar of Stuttering John, and we see the way now.
We could
see the way.
We could do that as a bit. I feel like if we legitimately found a way to make that work, he brings us on and we play the conversation like we're in his favor, and then we just pull the rug from beneath him. I think that would be.
By the way, Tom Myers, I'm still asking, pal. I'm still asking, pal.
Yeah, I
because you know what, Tom? I know we're not Facebook friends anymore, Tom. I know you unfriended me on Facebook, which is a shame because he accepted my friend request, and we were friends. We were friends.
I might have to do you some justice and hit up this guy and be like, I don't like how you treated my business partner. You need to come on my show here and apologize, asshole.
Look, I have 0 fans, and I was looking for your rub, Tom. I was looking for your rub. I was going to tell you. I was going to say we need you more than you need us. Come on. And honestly, I would have treated him nice. I would have treated Tom nice because I don't think, unlike this scumbag here on our screen, I don't think Tom's a bad guy.
I don't think Tom's a bad guy, but there are things about him. Like, you would be nicer to him than me. I wouldn't be a douchebag, but I would go after him on some stuff. I think it'd be.
I would be very, very diplomatic.
You see, then you could be the middle ground between us because, in a fucked up way, I'm choosing violence. I don't like this guy. I'm gonna be like, so what's your problem with Joe Rogan? I wanna hear this. You gotta tell.
Oh man. But honestly, I would want Tom to. I would kind of like to see how he felt, and he would want to come on and have some big puns to throw at Donald Trump. He'd have some haymakers.
Well, that's the other thing that makes me want to go in on him. He wanted you to tell him about the show because he wanted to gauge what political affiliation we were. And
all I said was, I used to work in radio, and my buddy is an open mic comic, and we would just want to have you on. We just want to, talk about comedy and stuff.
I
and
understand
your opinions on what's going on in the world right now. That's all we said.
Yeah, and I think that was fair to say, but that wasn't good enough for him. He needs to know that you're a radical leftist and you hate Trump and all of this. Like that's exactly what it was, because anyone with enough sense would hear that description and think, okay, that's reasonable enough. But for him, it's not enough.
Can watch this show, Jimmy. Have you ever said that you liked Trump? Have I ever said that I liked Trump? We may have discussed that we have conservative viewpoints, but we've never said that we like Trump because I don't think either one of us does.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We might not like him. We don't have a spurging hatred for him. We're not tweeting about him constantly. We're not making videos constantly calling him and his fan base Nazi fascists. And that's that's the problem. And I don't hate the man. I just disagree with his policies, but that's not good enough for people like Tom. So no, I think the way you presented yourself was professional. I know exactly what Tom was trying to fish for. And that's just it, So if John comes on, I won't be a complete tool, but I can't really like be diplomatic at the same time because
Yeah.
I don't like how he treated you. I don't like how he gave the sort of runaround on you. I don't like how he does he does a show that isn't really a show.
Well, he doesn't do it anymore. He gave up live streaming, and I tried to get him
Right.
on, and he was like, "I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are." Okay, well, I tried to talk to you, Tom. I tried talking to you. I even threw $2 in your super chat. I even did that. I gave him the $2.99 super chat, and he was just a complete and and then he
Not the
decided,
super chat where you asked him if he was coming on or something like that.
yes, that
What
was
did
the
he
super
say
chat.
again?
I forgot exactly what I said, but then that's when I said this. I said this, and he unfriended me because I said
Right.
this.
No, not at all. And that,
Uh-oh,
and that's
you
the
muted
biggest
yourself.
problem is that he doesn't know. He has no idea what he's doing. He doesn't really have a lot of instinct with this, and it's just dead air. And you would
That whole
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah.
But well, you know what, man? Like, I'm sorry, but I like Anthony Cumia, but if Anthony Cumia saw our show and gave some honest criticism, I ain't gonna cry about it. I would be impressed that he took the time out of his day to criticize our shit.
Honestly, I would actually really like if one of these shows found our show and was like, look at these idiots. Nobody watches them, blah 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 blah. And if they wanted to rip this shit out of our show, I would find that hilarious.
Yeah, and we would take
I would
advantage of it because we
Yes,
would
I would
probably get
think
viewers off
yes.
the back end of that.
I would really, really like that. I would like that. I would really like if like Carl, okay, realistically, if Carl from WATP, who I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of, by the way,
Me too.
if Carl saw this show and was like, okay, these guys are two buffoons trying to do a show, and no one cares and whatever, and he had some commentary on it, I'd be interested to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
Because
And also, I've learned from the old Opie and Anthony days, you don't want to go after these shows because when you attack them, the fan base doesn't like that, and they'll go to war with you, and you're not going to win that war. I've seen it play out way too many times. They'll run your show for you. It'll no longer be your show. They'll run it for you.
Let's hear some more of dipshit John. But I totally agree with you, and that's what's happening here. Everybody runs his show.
Is a really fucked up thing that
calls just
Ouch.
gone. Like he was never there.
Ouch.
I don't want to divert.
Okay, so now he's just playing the audio of everything that's on Reddit. So it's just all of this out of context sound bites from everyone else. No one does it quite like John.
No, of course not.
So that question was about his dating life at the time.
Oh, sorry.
Can we hear a
Sorry, I
little
went
bit more
down
about that?
I went down a rabbit hole. Well, I know I don't. I mean, he was definitely single, and he was definitely online dating, which I thought.
Oh, is this Dong?
Dong.
Oh my God, did he lose weight?
Dong.
Oh my God, this is a guy that had a. I don't. You know what? I don't even want to play it.
So John's old producer went on Uncle Rico and spilled some tea, as the children say, about a lot of different things, about how John keeps his house, about how John treats others, about the condition of John's cats, and a lot of people were very upset about how about how unhygienic John was towards his pets. And just a lot of things that he was very honest about. And now, again, John is looking to dodge the accountability of everything.
I don't know how he can do that either. There's enough documented footage of him treating people like shit. Like when Anthony had when Anthony and Artie did that show that they did, and they had him on, he drank all the beers, and when someone and when the staff were asking him to tip them, he said, "Oh, you want me to tip you for some beers?" And it's just like, holy shit, dude.
Or like when they invited, remember when Sam Simon invited him out to Los Angeles and he took a dump in the green room. Remember he shit in the green room toilet
Yeah, and
and stunk up everything in there. I mean,
yeah,
it's just he does things that are so inappropriate and such a turnoff to people. And then when he shows his true self, you see what his true self was. You see how dirty his house was. You remember the tape of
yeah.
how filthy that house is in Cape Coral.
And then there was that time where he was at that hotel and he fucking wrecked that hotel that he
Oh, the
was in.
hotel in Nebraska that he claimed he wasn't actually at.
Yeah, and
But
fuck,
he said,
Artie Lang told the story of a time that he cleared out a house party because he took that volatile of a shit in Artie's toilet.
"Oh yeah, yeah." But I was talking
So
about like last year when we were
yeah,
watching this last year when he was driving across the country and he swore up and down that he wasn't in Nebraska, but
yeah,
he was. He was at that shitty hotel in Grand Island, I believe. People figured out where he was at.
yeah.
So
I
it
guess
just
my point is that he's trying to dodge all of this shit when he knows that he has to know that it's documented. This is all historic. There's too many people who are credible and have given too many accurate witness testimonies, and
yeah.
like there's evidence of all of this happening.
And what the guy actually said was there was not a single table in John's house. There was not a flat surface in John's house that was not cluttered with. Oh, pardon me.
Mhm.
There was not a single flat surface in John's house that was not covered with something, with papers, with just any crap.
Bless you.
He said that the corners of the rooms, you could see where the dust was building up, big dust clumps in the corners of all the rooms in his house. Just very, very messy,
Yeah,
very unhygienic.
it was
Um,
all just very unhygienic, very
Pardon me, Jesus.
very very unsanitary, unhygienic, very aggressive with people. Um, will talk all the shit about people. When someone gives him shit back, you'll start saying there are levels and there are limits, and how dare you do X and X. And then there's
I had to put some hand
and
sanitizer
then
on my
there's also the famous story of the time that when he was at Stern and they went to this company event, he had a bunch of people in his room partying it up, and then when Howard was going after him, he said, well, Jackie was there smoking weed, to which Howard said, well, he's one of the founding fathers of the show. I don't give a fuck if he's smoking
Well, no,
weed.
he wasn't even saying that. He was saying, I will take care of Jackie when it's time to take care of Jackie.
Yeah, but in the end, he didn't really go after him for that because he said that he was one of the founding fathers, and he didn't really give a shit, you know. He went after Jackie for other stuff, but I know that he didn't go after him for that because that's such a. I care less about if someone's smoking weed in a room versus if you're bringing it 15 people or something like that into a room, and this is John of all people, so you know shit's gonna get fucking destroyed.
Oh, 100%. And that's the thing is that everything is completely deflection. When John, goes on and on and on about, oh, Shuley lives in a shithole and all of this. Shuley's already proven this. He's not going to show his house. He's not going to do all of that. But, you know, we know that Shuley has, I'm sure, a very nice house, but we have seen John's house, and John's house is disgusting. We saw the recording of John's house. There's shit everywhere in that house. The kitty litter is sprawled across the laminate floor. to the point where as you walk across the floor, it feels like pebbles on your feet. Is what the producer was telling us, or was
Yeah.
telling Rica, was telling everybody in the AMA.
And you know what? I believe that with with what I saw from that hotel room he tried to deny was his, and it clearly was. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Anyway, let's listen to what this retard.
Fucking loser. Not really. Steve, you have handsome shoulders. You all
Worthy of mockery. The
Hold
All-Day
on.
fans stumbled upon something
sorry.
bizarre lurking on Anthony's Vine account. Evidently, Anthony didn't realize his Vine likes were public, and Redditors noticed that nearly every video Anthony liked featured young girls, such as Anthony liking a Vine from Maisie Williams.
Oh my God. Holy fucking shit. Maybe this explains why Shitware likes Pocky. I mean, this is
Oh,
fuck-
he's still calling him Pocky.
Okay. So this
All
is the
right.
same thing about how, allegedly Shuley knew that Iso Doe. We all know where this is going.
Yeah.
Was
heard this.
Maisie Williams a teenager on Game of Thrones, or was she already an adult? Was she like 20 something?
I think she was 20 something. I'm gonna check that right now.
Because we all know that Pocky likes his Pocky
He
likes
likes
his
them in their 20s.
right.
What was her last name?
Even though Mrs. Kumia is 40, I believe.
What was her last name? Williams
Yeah, Maisie Williams, yeah.
or Maisie? Okay. Maisie Williams. All right. Yeah, she was born in 97.
So I don't know how old she was when Vine would have been out. That's an old Vine account. Let's look and see what the hell Pocky did. Let's watch the entire allegation here.
fucking went on the show. And that's a fact, Jack.
They want to empower them so they don't tend to get together until things are really late in the game. Then they come together. Evil's always defeated because good is so much stronger. And we're on this planet, and Einstein's physics showed it, Max Planck's physics showed it, all. There's at least 12 dimensions. And now that's why all the top scientists and billionaires are coming out saying it's a false hologram. It is artificial. The computers are scanning it and finding tension points where it's artificially projected. So we're like a thought or a dream that's a wisp in some computer program, some God's mind, whatever. They're proving it all. It's all coming out. There's like this sub-transmission zone below the third dimension that's just turned over to the most horrible things is what it resonates to. The devil, whatever you want to call it.
All right, man, let's get to the point here.
Also, I looked it up. 2013 is when Vine came out. So if these allegations are true, she would have been a minor at the time.
Yuck.
If they're true. I've heard so many.
He said he liked the video. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and that's the other thing. Liking a video is one thing. It's if there's any DMs or anything like that. That's why I don't like these allegations. And I've heard so many of these allegations against Anthony, and it never turns out to be true. So
Let's see here. The Vines, here it is.
Be 13 or 14. As a fan, it can be tempting to rationalize the actions of someone who brought you years of entertainment, and you can easily find yourself playing devil's advocate. You might say, sure, that girl looks 13, but maybe she was technically of age. Maisie Williams is a little young.
No one is making that argument in his fan base. And there's a difference between liking a photo and liking comments and getting in DMs and saying some gross stuff. I need DMs.
Yeah.
I need DMs or something like that. No, I can assure you, no one in Anthony's audience likes the person that says that the age of consent should be 13. For as grotesque as the humor got, I promise you, I have been a part of that community for a long time. So I need DMs or something definitive. Like, otherwise, all that I got is you liked a picture and maybe comment.
Well, let's see where this goes here.
16.
Turns to 17.
It isn't hard to dismiss individual allegations when you view them in isolation. Though, when you recognize the pattern of behavior Anthony has displayed over the years, you have to ask yourself how many times you're willing to make the same excuses. How many times can a man joke about being sexually attracted to children before you have to wonder how much of it is true?
You can make as many jokes about that as you want. If you think him making jokes about it is the same as him justifying it, then no one can tell murder jokes anymore. Because if you tell murder jokes, by that logic, you're justifying murder. Yet again, if there are some DMs that come out and he has said some creepy shit, I have no issue with going after him. It doesn't matter if I like him or not. But all we have is hearsay and speculation. And unfortunately, when numerous people have spent their entire careers or more trying to destroy this man's career, yeah, when I hear an allegation against him, I'm going to be suspicious of it. You know, like...
Of course. No, I totally get that 100%. And, I want to know with, the whole situation, with Kumia, I don't know, where this is going and if there is any actual, like,
These are my
hard-
favorites.
What I meant to do. Like,
It isn't hard to
evidence
dismiss
against
individual allegations when you view them in isolation. Though, when you recognize the pattern of behavior Anthony has displayed over the years, you have to ask yourself how many times you're willing to make the same excuses. How many times can a man joke about being sexually attracted to children before you have to wonder how much of it is true?
Yeah, shitware. How many times? Shitware. How many times, Lady K? How many times? But you'll still think this guy's your buddy, right? Right? I'll wait, right?
Because he doesn't.
Fucking
They don't have
pathetic.
actual evidence.
You all
delivering
are
the food.
pathetic.
What a moron! It's because they don't have evidence. You
Look
need
how many
DM.
layers
You
of the
need
face is
something
going on here.
definitive. I'm sorry, hearsay and speculation isn't enough. Like I said, if
And
there-
also, the thing of it is that the old Vine accounts, okay, is there any comments being made? I mean, again, I don't, or is he watching these Vines? I mean, look, I think it is a bit creepy that he's watching the Vines or the time he was watching those Vine accounts. But look, I don't, there was nothing beyond any of that, as far as I'm aware. And,
honestly, if I feel like there was, I feel like she would have said something by that point.
and this even goes back to the Dakota Fanning days.
Yeah. I'm just saying that if he is putting creepy comments on those Vines and those posts, or there's creepy DMs, that's enough evidence to say something. But without it, it's just speculative hearsay, and clearly you're trying to guilt trip fans into thinking he might have done something wrong here. I'm sorry. And then of all
And
people,
also, do we have 100% proof that Vine account was even Anthony's to begin with?
yeah, that's the other thing too. I'm just saying, if we don't even know if that's his account or not, I can't even accept the argument alone. I'm just entertaining it if it was his account, because
Right.
that's another layer. Do we know if this is his actual account, or is this an alt account or a Smurf
I don't know,
account?
but this big dummy here, this big fucking biscuit face fuck, he just believes everything that he hears, everything that he's told. And frankly, let's just hear a little bit more of him.
You're apologists. You're pacifists.
You're retarded. You're a
It's
pacifist.
it's sick. And you don't care. That's the weird thing. You don't give a shit.
And neither do you.
Ghost Crusaders TV, thanks to the fiver. Do you have a
No.
burial plot, or are you going to be cremated? I don't know yet. What are you going to do? I know I'm giving all my
Oh,
organs.
God, you're looking for one on the cheap? I don't know, John. You might want to be considering that. You're looking really ghoulish these days.
I know a guy if you're looking for one. Yeah, I know. That's what I just pointed that out. It's like, dude, what leg do you have to stand on?
Also, he doesn't know what the term pacifist means. He said pacifist. John, these guys can make the point of being a pacifist is you remain you remain non-violent until a violent
Yeah.
act is committed against you.
A pacifist, John thinks a pacifist is someone who can pass a physical, who can pass a stress test,
You're
who
kidding.
can.
Oh, please tell me you're kidding. If he actually thinks that's what a pacifist is.
No, because he can't pass those things, Jimmy.
Well,
That's
well, I knew that. I'm just saying that this guy is such an idiot. He said the word pacifist in a context that makes no fucking sense to say it. John, these guys have no reason to turn on Anthony. Now, if Anthony gets aggressive with these guys or does something that's like ridiculous to them, then yeah, you drop like that. That's the point of pacifism. John, do you think being a pacifist is going into a bar, saying the first guy and just fucking striking them because you might think they support Pocky, as you like to call him?
well,
Like,
that's what he likes to say. He really wants to believe that the first guy that crosses me. Like he really wants to believe that he can pull that off.
oh, of course. What a moron.
But anyway, enough of that fucker. So what I really do think is something to be said. John, honestly, enough about John. But John is a guy who, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We've already seen that was awful. Now, by the way, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast. Someone has a video evidence of that, so we're going to be able to see how awful that was. And the old producer told Uncle Rico. He told a producer Joe on the other day that
Yes.
all of the tapes of the old Stuttering John show. He has all of them for them to dissect now. All of the lost tapes. That guy has everything.
Oh shit.
So yeah. So there's going to be plenty of ammunition, and I think that's a big reason that John is going into this attack mode, because he's in fight or flight right now. He has to recognize there is going to be evidence of him making transphobic comments about his son. There is going to be evidence of him making very derogatory comments about his ex-wife, the mother of his children, who, he swears up and down he has not, wronged in any way. The evidence is going to be there. The evidence of John continuously sucking, okay, for him to just fucking kerplunking on stage, that evidence is going to be piling up, because I don't know if you know this or not, okay, but the Stress Factory tape, that is now out.
Oh no! Holy fuck!
So not Kevin Brennan going in with so by the way, so Keanu on her show this week.
Yes.
Keanu and Gino were talking about the Stress Factory incident with Kevin Brennan.
Yes.
They were talking about how Nelson Schuler was the comic that kind of wizened up security that Kevin Brennan was coming back in. And of course, the asshole comes in with a noisemaker, and he's making all this noise. And the female comic who was on stage is Nelson's girlfriend, and it's just the point being is that there's a reason why Kevin Brennan is not welcome at most comedy clubs in Jersey.
And that guy who threw him out was really happy to do it.
He was the GM of the Stress Factory. He said, "Look, Kevin, you gotta get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, he was at a smile going like, "You gotta go, Kevin. You gotta go." I'm impressed Kevin didn't say, "You want to go, tough guy."
Oh yeah, of course. Well, apparently, if you believe the rumors, he had a load in his pants. He was wearing an adult diaper,
That's what
and he had a full with a full card Monty in it, so he had to be
Oh,
rather careful.
well, Jesus Christ.
But anyway, so that was the belief of that. Well, John's performance at the Stress Factory. There is tape of that. I've not been able to find it yet, but a tape of that is up. And as we have seen before, um, as we have seen before with John, none of this stand up is good at
No.
all. And what I'm actually hoping for, though, is that he's claiming that he's going to go down south and do some more shows in Fort Lauderdale. He's heading to Sarasota. He's going to some different parts of Florida. And what I'm kind of hoping is that he's going to do more morning television.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'm hoping he does more morning television because morning television is his specialty.
It is.
Oh man, I want him to get on there and talk about fat women and oh, it's like letting Charlie Sheen be in charge of your coke and all the nonsense that he says on morning television. I just love it.
Yeah, it's something.
Well, here's my question for you, honestly, Jimmy. How can you sincerely be that unfunny, that uninteresting, that uncreative, that unoriginal? How can you just be that universally awful, but somehow, be that universally awful, and yet somehow really believe that you are this living legend? You get on your show and you talk about nothing. You talk about nothing, John. And this is what I don't understand. And what personally I don't fully I'm not really grasping is that uh he used to have a show where he would get on and he would have topics. He would talk about what was bugging him in Hollywood. He would talk about things with Trump. He would have his political show. But all of that has now gone away. And literally, what he does is he brings people on who will just be completely complacent as he motherfucks Lady K and Shuley and anybody else. But is any of this shit a show? Is any of this shit that's happening on YouTube now, is any of this really a show? All these gossip shows, everybody just hopping on a live stream and shit talking each other. Is any of this shit what you would really call a show?
I mean, yes and no. It's technically a show, but is there much substance beyond that? I would say no. Speaking of a show that and we'll talk more about this next week, but I kind of want to give you a bit of a prelude to this. A show that I had used to watch very consistently and then kind of stopped is the biggest problem in the universe, and this is where we now start our lore talking of Vito.
So lay it all out.
Okay.
With Vito Bertaglia.
So I used to find Vito very funny. He was a person that didn't take himself super seriously. I liked his tagline of like when I first found his channel on YouTube, it was like Vito professional idiot. And I'm like, yeah, most YouTubers fall into the category of professional idiot. And I found him funny. So when I heard he was doing a show with Dick Masterson, I'm like, okay, this ought to be really good. And it was for a time. And then there was two things that kind of started to speed run his demise. There was him getting into arguments with fans, going into Discord servers. Then there was the whole thing with Hackamania when Riley, of all the people you need to be afraid of, is Riley, this guy who's like 5'2", this midget is saying, I'm going to assault you. Like, you were afraid of this guy. Like, stuff like that. So he's like crashing out over that. And then you have his comic book Super Killer that was supposed to come out, I think, like about 2 years ago. And you have people asking him about the book, and he's blocking people or saying "fuck you" to them. And people who want refunds, he was like, "Sorry, I'll only refund the lunchbox tier."
Yeah, he was only going to do that, and then he didn't want to refund people for Dick's live show that he had to cancel. There was a lot of shit with that with Vito, and then on top of that, if you remember, the other thing was he wasn't going to do any more live shows.
Yep.
So he was bitching about not doing any more live shows, but he wanted more money for the gate.
Yep. And I think in this is one of those clips to where Dick kind of just lays it all out on the table of just what he has to do to, like, be funny. I don't like it when 1 out of 10 shows Vito will be funny, and then the other 9 shows I got to listen to him cry like a fucking bitch. Oh my God, the fans called me fat. Yeah, after you said that you weren't going to refund them and tell them to go fuck themselves. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, it's... So, like, I just, I don't understand, like, what... Like, you're given so many... Like, he was given so many solutions. He was told you release the first Super Killer, and then you release the second one for free as an apology to build hype for the third one, and Vito's response was, no, I'll sell the second one for money. So, I don't know. I still can't hear you. I'm checking the audio on my end. I have everything's good on my end. But yeah, I think with the technical issues we're having, I think we should call it good. And we can just I can send you more clips on this throughout the week, and then next weekend we can just touch upon it more. I still can't hear you, man. Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna call it good, and we can pick this up next week.
All right. So, all right. Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
We go. Okay.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say to you is the other thing that I wanted to mention about Vito. I don't
Yes.
think a lot of these guys.
The comic, and the thing is that I like indie comics, but a lot of these guys end up they end up pulling like a rug pull. They end up being like, like grifters and everything, and it's a problem,
Yeah, well, the whole thing they become grifters because what I don't think is they don't understand where they are in the internet now. Everybody has a peak, and then people begin to simmer out, and there's usually a center of gravity where there's 2 or 3 shows that everybody listens to, and then a subversion of the fan base of the main shows will then go and listen to the Dick Show and some of these others, but a lot of people who are probably listening to WATP, who are listening to maybe Misery Loves Company, who watch these sorts of shows, then they might go and listen to Gino's show. Then they might go and listen to Dick's show. But they don't have the fan bases that everyone has, and I think that's the biggest issue here.
Yeah.
And because of that, they then go and try to say, all right, well, how much, well, now what can I do? Because most of these guys also, too, I think I have a strange feeling. A lot of these guys are unemployed, Jimmy. I think that the only way they're paying their bills is through super chats and shit.
Oh yeah, Dick Masterson has made it abundantly clear. He tells Vito, "You can't piss off the people that are paying our bills," and he said, "You can't piss off people that are paying for me to be able to take care of my son. Like you can't do that."
Right. And that's the thing is that, and Dick has been doing this for a very long time. And that's what I said to before is that Vito needs to kind of just do his own thing. I mean, sorry, Dick needs to do his own thing away from Vito. Maybe have Carl on, maybe have some rotating guests on, get a bit more traction. But Vito adds nothing to the show.
Not
It's not as if there's any true fans of Vito.
Yeah, at this point, they're not really there to support him. I've seen enough from this clip channel I've sent you, and it's just people like fucking eating him alive, and you have Dick fucking just ripping him to shreds too. Like it's meme worthy. But hey, that's what you get, man.
Oh, I
Um,
know.
and like I said, there are rare instances in which Vito is funny, but it's so rare these days because he just decides I want to come to stream and act like a bitch, and
And that's the big thing too is that now people are looking at it, and it's not just Vito; it's other shows. I don't want to start naming off names, but
of course.
people now look at it as well, being funny, being entertaining, adding to the show in any substantial way is going to require my compensation. It's going to require those super chats. It's going to
Yeah.
require some sort of income. And if I'm not seeing it, I'm just going to sit here like a statue. I'm going to sit like a bump on a log and do nothing.
Yeah, and like and he's just you can't put out a product, put out a book or whatever it is, and if you don't deliver in the way people want, you can't say to people who want a refund, "Fuck you." You don't get to do that. If you fail to deliver what you're supposed to, you can't get mad at people who want to be reimbursed for your failure.
Right.
Not up to you to. Well, they called me fat. Well, you are. Well, you are
Well,
fat.
you
So
are
it's not.
fucking yeah.
It's like you are
It's
fat.
like it's like when Boogie gets upset and people call him fat.
It's like it's not an inaccurate statement. And then what kills me is that Dick threw him a lifeline so many times. He gave him so many ways to just get over his problems and everything, and just he gave him so many solutions, and he basically either came up with some convenient or contrived excuse, or he basically said, I could do that, but I'm not going to. And it's just like, well, then why are you bitching if you
Yeah,
don't
and it's all of these guys. All of these guys find an angle to get on, and they have to because they are these serial streamers. They're not really podcasters. They're not actually presenting a show or generating any content or espousing any opinion. They're just streaming. They're sitting in front of a microphone, and they think that they're saying something of substance, but they're not. They're just trailing on, looking for money, pointing fingers, looking to generate fights. And I think at one point in time during COVID and slightly post COVID, there was a place for that because we were all fucking bored and we were
Yeah.
interested in this sort of like, WWE nonsense on the internet. And that's why Steel Toe was big. That's why all these people were big. And now it's just completely not anymore.
Yeah, and that's the thing some people also need to understand. Certain YouTube trends and fads aren't going to last forever. Not everything remains meta forever. Eventually, certain things fizzle out, and you either get with the times or you better get on and go do something else.
Right.
All right,
And
man.
that
I'm gonna call it good.
all right, man. Yeah, I know there's some connection issues, but we'll get this going again, man. Have a good one.
You too.